another recipe here. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you guys how to make my shrimp stuffed chile rellenos. It's very easy. Somebody requested a long time ago, but finally the day comes. So I'm gonna make it as easy as it is and give you some tips in the way how I roast my chile. So vamos a empezar. You will need 6 chiles pastillas, 1 pound of shrimps, 5 eggs, 8 ounces of cheese. I have Monterey, but you can use mozzarella or any cheese that melt. 2 tomatoes, a quarter of onions, 2 garlics, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of salt, some oil, 1/4 cup of flour, half a cup of crema, 4 ounces of cream cheese, 2 tomatoes, a quarter of onion, 2 garlics, 2 chiles chipotles, and half a cup of water. We're gonna start first by preparing our chiles. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of tip. In my opinion, it can be helpful. So you see we have our chile lata, and we are gonna take the seed before. So we're gonna make an incision. We're gonna cut it. You see our chile is flat. We don't wanna cut it flat. We wanna cut it in the size. Also, when you go and pick your chiles, try to pick as flat as you can. And also try not to buy too big. Sometimes the chiles are super big and sometimes it's just ridiculous. So I have over here 2 pounds and it's 6 chiles. I'm gonna start cutting just all the way here to the end. So when I have my thing, you see I'm not going all the way there. I'm gonna insert the spoon. When I have the spoon, because the chile right now is strong, I'm gonna just kind of play with the chile inside so I can take the seed right now inside. So I'm gonna just, after I have a little, I'm gonna cut a little more. When I have this thing, I can also put my spoon this small. And this one, since it doesn't have a lot of seeds, but I can show you, look. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna open. You see what I did? So I can also do this to my chile, and I didn't cut it all the way there. And also when you buy the chiles, make sure you buy with the stem, because this is gonna help you to put to my over when you fry the chiles. And also another trick that I'm gonna give you, we wanna try to preserve a stem. We don't want it to burn it. So when we got our chile, we have something to hold it. So we always want to kind of keep it out of the flame. And we have the incision where we do. So we're gonna put that one first, because after it starts cooking, it's gonna release some juice. So if we roast that one, we keep it in a way in an angle that we don't have that water release into the stove, so don't make too much mess. Always when you have the incision, start there first. Also, if you don't have a stove and you only have electric stove, you can also do this in the comal. And we're not gonna leave the chiles alone for a long time. This is gonna go quickly. I'm not gonna be able to tell you how many minutes. You're just gonna have to keep watching when it's ready. I'll show you when this one is done. So we're gonna flip it. You see, this one is already done. And that flame is a little bigger than this one, so that's why this one is more quickly. And also something that I forgot to mention, you're going to need a bag, so because we're gonna put the chiles in the bag to make it sweaty for a little bit, so it's easy to peel. Okay guys, as you can see, this one is already done. It's so black, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just put it in the bag. This one is done. As you can see, that's how it's supposed to look. It's so dark and brown. Now I'm done with my chiles. As you can see, that's how it's supposed to be looking. Now that I have my chiles here, I'm gonna just cover so they can sweat and it's easy to peel. I'm gonna leave it there. In the meantime, I'm gonna be working with my shrimps over here. I have my onion here. For this one over here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna make our cream salsa for the chile rellenos. This is the one that's gonna give it the flavor. I love this salsa. The flavor is incredible. So I'm just gonna use a quarter. And I'm not gonna cut it in a very small pieces. Just gonna cut it just like that. I'm gonna just prepare it now. And I'm going to use those tomatoes too. Just gonna cut it in not too small, not too big spot, just like that. And that's my onion, and I have my 2 garlics here. So what I'm gonna use that too. I'm not gonna even chop this one because I don't need to chop it. So we're gonna be moving to the stove. I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm just gonna let it heat for a minute. I'm gonna be adding my onion here. I'm gonna fry it for a few minutes. I also can add my 2 garlic. So now that I've been frying my onions for a little bit, I'm just gonna be adding my tomato. Also let it fry for another, I think we can fry the onions and the garlic for about 5 or 6 minutes. Chile chipotle. This one is the one that gives it the flavor. I'm only putting 1 chile chipotle, the ones that come in the can. and a little bit of juice. If you want a little bit more spice, you can put a little bit more. Or that will kind of little mild, just one and a little piece. Sometimes they got more spicy than other times. Half a cup of water, and I'm just gonna let it cook for 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes and my tomatoes are boiled. To this point, we're just gonna turn it up and we're just gonna let it cook down. This is for make my cream salsa, and this is the one that's gonna be not for the chile rellenos. It's gonna be company with the chile relleno, so we're gonna move it out. We're gonna be moving to prepare our shrimp. I bought these shrimps and this one already clean. Sometimes when you bought it and they're not clean, and the way you know they're not clean is not open here. Also, you can take it with a toothpick, just pull it out or open it that way. But this is clean. Now it's just gonna take the skin because I don't want it with the skin. The same time when I peel it, I'm just gonna add it with water and take the skin. When you buy it like that, they're a little bit more expensive. And you clean it yourself, it's a little cheaper for sure. You save some money in that way. I was trying to find today, but I think it's shortage in food or whatever. They didn't have any, so I just got this one because they didn't have the other one, and I didn't want to go to another store to buy it. Just gonna keep doing like that with every single one. So I already have peeled all my shrimps, and I have it at cold water. This is my skin. I don't need it. I'm just gonna drain the water, and I'm gonna put cold water, not hot water. Now I just need to get my shrimp really dry, so I'm gonna dry it with a towel. I'm gonna need my shrimp kind of dry, the most as I can, so they don't release a lot of water. So I'm gonna just leave it over here. We're just gonna let it like that to dry as much as we can. So this tomato and all these things is gonna be for frying our shrimp. So we're gonna need a quarter of an onion. You can cut it as small or as big as you want. It's your choice. I already washed my tomatoes, and I'm gonna cut in small pieces this one. Now I have my garlic here, so I'm just gonna cut in small pieces too. So now we're gonna go back to the stove. Now we're gonna start preparing our shrimps, and we are going to add 2 tablespoons of oil, and you can add any oil you prefer. I'm just gonna measure, but for you guys, but I can probably just put it by eyes. We are gonna put it in medium heat. Quarter an onion, fry for like 2 minutes. I'm cooking my onion probably like 1 minute. I'm gonna add my 2 garlics. Just let it for like 30 seconds, my garlic. Now that I cook these things, I'm gonna be adding my tomato for another 3 minutes. I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of salt. If you think you need more, you can add it a little bit more. 1/4 of teaspoon of cumin. If you don't like cumin, you can skip this part. And we're gonna cook this one probably between 3 to 5 minutes. I have my shrimp over here that I washed and dried really well. So now we're just gonna be cooking this one for between 4 to 5 minutes. And that way you know the shrimp's gonna just change color. So you don't wanna cook it more than 5 minutes because you don't wanna make it like hard, like rubbery. Like when you eat it and it's so chewy, we don't want that. Okay, so my shrimps are cooking for 5 minutes. As you can see, already changed the color and it looks beautiful. So now we're just gonna leave it on, and we are going to move in to prepare our chiles. We're gonna prepare our cheese, and I'm not gonna grate. I'm just gonna cut it like that. I need 6. Maybe I have 1 more. My chiles are not as big, so probably I'm just gonna cut it just like that and like that. This one, and then from there I'm gonna see if I need to chop it more. I have my chiles here. Gonna peel it, and it's been sweating for a little bit. As you can see, look, you can do this and peel it like that. You have 2 options like that. You can do it like that, or you can do it with a paper towel. But the thing that you not want to do is to not rinse it in water, because if you rinse it in the water, it release the flavor. So that's how we want to do. Just clean it like that. And you see it's not all broken, and it's ready just to put the stuff inside. It's still a little warm. Okay guys, so now that I have peeled all my chiles, as you can see, I saved all the things so I didn't burn it. I'm so proud of myself. Now I'm gonna put the cheese first. You gotta be gentle, so don't be too rough so you don't break it. So they see how this one are perfectly not broke. So after I put 1 type of cheese, I'm gonna put the shrimps inside. You can put as many or as little as you want. I don't know. The chiles that I got are kind of small in the medium size, not too big, Sometimes in the past I got the chiles are super big. They take a lot of food and they kind of over. If you think when you're gonna fry, you can also use toothpick. But I feel that this one's gonna be okay, but I'm still gonna do it like that. I'm gonna close it. I kind of feel that I don't have to. Look, so when I grab it, it doesn't come out. So this is one. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. You calculate if you need to cut the cheese, you can cut it. Also, you can, if you don't have that type of cheese, you can use the other one that's already great. That's also fine. So also don't overfill it, so you have plenty of room to close them. I am using 1/4 cup of flour, but if you think you need more, you can add a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do with my chile, we're gonna take all the kind of little wet so the eggs to stick. So we're gonna just cover everything in flour to dry them like that. Every single one. Some are bigger than others, but it's okay. So we're gonna start to prepare our eggs. So we are going to use 5 eggs. You have 2 options. I'm gonna show you first one way. You can kind of do like that, cut one hole like that. Just let all the white come out. That's one option. That's how I actually learned. Make sure the yellow part doesn't go inside. Other way you can do, you can cut it in half, heat it at half, and then open it. And you can just put it in your fingers and let all the thing comes out, which is pretty easy. So that's how I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put it there. So at the same time that I'm gonna whisk my eggs, I'm gonna preheat my oil at the same time before I prepare my eggs, because as soon as my eggs are done, I want the oil to be warm enough, a little bit over than 1 cup. You can, it doesn't have to be measured. I'm just giving you an idea. We need to have plenty oil, so when we put our chile, it'll be enough oil. So I'm gonna just put a little bit more. You can probably use 1.5 cup of oil, so you have plenty when you fry your chile. So we're gonna leave it heated at medium heat. In the meantime, we're gonna go work on with the egg. Now that I have my egg over here, that we're gonna do. You can do it with a fork or something, but it's really tired. So this one is really easy and really quickly. So this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, and that way you know your egg is ready. You're going to do this like that, and your egg just sticking. You see how I flip it and the egg stay? That's how you know this is done. And now that my eggs are done, I'm just gonna pour the yolk in there, but we're not gonna be very much. We're just gonna eat gentle, so just incorporate the egg. We don't need to add any salt or anything, so this is done. Now if you do this, the egg will come. That way that you know your oil is hot, you can put a little bit egg and you see it's making bubbles. See how it is? So that's gonna already tell you that's warm enough. So I have my chile over here. Remember I told you this is very important to have the stick. So I have my eggs. So we're just gonna put it in here. Make sure we cover everything. We're gonna put it in there, and we're gonna put 2 at a time. Gonna go like that. Now that we've done that, we have the oil, so we're gonna put oil on top. So to cook the thing. If we don't use the egg quickly, as soon as one is done, it's gone. We're gonna leave it too long, or it'll go fly, it will not work. So now that my thing is done, so I'm gonna grab my chile from here and turn it. Same way with this one, you see. We're gonna use a paper with paper towel so they can suck a little bit of the oil. I'm gonna flip this one a little bit more, see if it's getting ready. If you think to hold this one with your hands is too hard, what you can do with one of these, you can just hold it like that. Just be careful, don't let it drop in the oil because the oil is really, really hot. What I'm telling you again, if you leave the egg too long, it's gonna come flop and it's not gonna work as good as you using it right away. You see this one, I made this one right away. It looks really pretty. This one is gonna, the last one, so the egg is gonna flatten a little bit. So we're done. We have made our 6 chile relleno. Now we're just gonna turn it on. Let it cool down for a little bit. Okay guys, so you see I have my tomatoes, my onions, and my chile chipotle. This is gonna be for the salsa to combine when we eat the chiles. That's already cold and that's exactly what we want. So now I'm gonna blend this one. I'm not gonna add any salt or anything because my crema already has some and my cream cheese already has some. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna blend this one a little bit. Half a cup of cream. cream cheese. I already have it like room temperature. Just gonna put it in there, and I'm gonna use 4 ounces. And this is done. Let me show you how it looks. The flavor of this thing, I love the flavor. I can eat it with rice, I can eat it with chicken, but I think with rice it tastes really, really, really good. The way you guys serve it, this one and the chili combined together, this one it tastes really good. I think what I'll do, probably just serve a little bit in the plate, like that. And then you put the chili on top. And if you have any rice, you can put some rice. Just put it, like when you cut it in each bite, you will taste the flavor. And if you want to put it on top, that'll be also pretty good. Okay guys, so that's chile rellenos with camarones. I already have some in my channel how to make it with cheese, but I thought somebody asked me about the sauce a long time ago, and finally one day said, okay, I'm gonna make it. And I know the salsa is pretty damn good with the chili, so hopefully you guys will give it a try, and maybe you guys learn some tricks in that way. I know it can be a little complicated, but it's actually not as complicated. So hopefully you guys will give it a try. So hasta la vista.